what's happening? In the name of the All-Mother, what are you doing? I could have stabbed you. Wait, I haven't seen you before. But we don't just let anybody in, pal. You need to have, things. This pin. I can't say I see it very clearly at this, but I remember Fergus says something about all this, yes, I remember now. I welcome thee, ye... Please, speak with Fergus. He's our quartermaster. He runs things around here in the... Have a pleasant... Open it up, boys!
All mother's tits. I've just about had it with this bunch of repressed virgins. And who might you be? You don't look like... Oh, do I now? You would be too if you had to deal with those sniveling morons when they're up to something. Don't look at me like that. You don't get as far in life as I have. There's something fishy going on here. But I'll get to the bottom of it. I just need you to go to Brandon and find out why that slime ball is pretending not to know I'm here. Tell him I'm waiting with his delivery. Although I'm pretty sure he knows that. You don't know? He's the captain of this entire circus. I thought since they let you in, you must have an in with him. When it turns out you know, there's something going on, you know? They don't want anybody to know, but I can feel it. Then suddenly I found myself stuck here. They won't let me further in, not even to set up... Anyway, good luck to you. Come on, you're back. That's the best news I've heard all week. Come on then, give it to me. Now that I think about it, since you managed to bring that package and Ness decided to ditch me, you might as well help with the next... My client, you know who, wants the package delivered to a specific place. Once you're there, you'll use these very special arrows I'm about to give you, and shoot the package from a safe... Regular arrows won't do the trick. And if you waste them before the job's done, I'll charge you for the next batch. These aren't gifts. Oh, come on. What do you think happens when you shoot flaming arrows at a mysterious package? Anyway, whatever opens up in front of you. If I were you, I wouldn't touch anything. But if something catches your eye, well, maybe nobody will notice. What does he care? He pays me to get the job done. How I get it done and whose hands... Am I some kind of seer? I have no idea. But if the rumors about him cozying up to the Dalriada tribes are true, you might stumble upon something related to them. Personally, I think the captain's just trying to suck up to them. Name's Orla. I'm a merchant. Or a What was I thinking when I decided to leave Timberwall? You've never been to the merchant capital? Well, you didn't miss much. Yet, other than that, it's a place like any other. The same pain and misery hiding behind gilded. Or, well, maybe it is if you like living with a bunch of backstab. I have no home in Timberwall. Well, I feel like every time I go back, I recognize it less and less. The people. Business is slow, I'm not gonna lie. With the weirdness creeping in from the north and bandits. But, I don't know. Being a merchant from Timberwall used to mean craftiness, taking risks, looking for. Not really. It's more of a requirement if you ever want to be successful in. Or so we thought. A man who tried to chop off his legs after they started sprouting antlers. Another one who gouged his eyes out, so he wouldn't have to look at. A woman in the farthest corner of the settlement managed to stab herself in the heart before it got. I almost dropped it all and ran back to Timberwall that day. I'm still not sure why I didn't. Luck's a fickle thing.
Welcome! In the name of our eternally reigning Majesty King Arthur and the... I am obliged to inform you that fighting those who actively break the law and reject the... As, Camelot's representative, I will be paying a bounty of 10 gold pieces for the, death of each bandit. I also recommend checking the bounty board for information on wanted criminals. Especially... Looks like you've got stiff competition. Some old codger brought in the head of Bold Kite. I hadn't even posted a bounty yet. But I gave him the reward anyway. Gotta keep that kind of... Please, state your business. Really? You fought bandits and killed them? Oh, I want to hear all the details. Here's a reward, but promise you'll... Oh, someone finally checked out the net... That's the carcass of Fingerless Comb, isn't it? They've been hunting him. Well, you... Sinan the Giant. He used to rob travelers on the road. And now his hefty body is lying in pieces in a puddle of blood. Go chop off some heads. That's correct. My name is Lillian. I was sent here from the capital to see how the Horns of the South are handling the bandit problem, and also to encourage the Keepers to fight. The situation with the Pict and Del Rita savages is precarious. Too bad we can't get rid of... There have also been rumors that we might soon have a civil war on our hands, so Camelot cannot afford to spread... Well, you've probably heard about the druids making human sacrifices by stuffing people into wicker puppets and setting them on fire. Well, the people decided to give them a taste of their own medicine. Oh, how they must have howled and sizzled. Too bad most of them, the survivors have supposedly taken refuge with savages in the woods, and one of them is rumored to be hiding in the Horns area. But whether that was before or after the charred con... His name was Slaudyard. He was lurking near Blood Lake, a small pond where they used to throw... They say he would fish them out and use his magic to turn them into undead monsters. Supposedly, he started needing some fresher corpses, so he slaughtered one of the keep. The Horns organized a manhunt. They found him, and people say that the moment his body touched the surface of Blood Lake, the water turned red, and it's been... Some say that Slaudyard came back from the dead and seeks revenge. But if you ask me... There are rumors that the Rita tribes want to unite, and that would mean open war with Camelot. As for those pig savages, they've been growing bold, leaving their forest. For now, it's just been small scrimmages. But who knows how it'll end. I don't really have much more to tell. It's hard to get any updates here. I only know that the new Lancelot has not been very popular, and that's putting it mildly. The Witch Morgaine would have been burnt at the stake, and then we have the commoners. None so far. The Keepers don't want to risk being turned into pincushions. Besides, the captain banned them from leaving the Horns of the South without a good reason. Oh, you have no... When I heard they were sending me south, to the very place that's crawling with bandits and barbarians, fighting, gushing blood, screams and such like. I thought the veterans would be showing me their scars and stumps and telling me, or even better, how they were ripping open throats and bellies. And I could be, but many people can swing a sword, but only it's just that some people were made for fighting while others are. Besides, watching and listening gives me enough satisfaction without needing to risk my. Yeah, I've been like this since I was a child. The moment, and there were quite a lot of them in Camelot, and I like to watch where Mum punished the servants with a whipping. It's just how I. Well, Camelot would send a group of knights with Sir Galahad at the head, and he'd probably burn down half the garrison, or hang them. He's done both. By the way, did you know that people who are hanged rarely die from. Usually the sudden jolt causes the backbone to snap. A while ago I saw someone hanged in the village, and it's true. One snap. No matter what you say about him, he's very efficient. Brutal. Oh, sure, plenty. Did you know that apparently if you cut off someone's head, they don't die straight away, but remain. If someone dies in a damp, closed-off space, sometimes, but very rarely, their body. I heard that a body decomposes in water 4 times. I need to think, if I remember anything. Oh, hey, before you go, I can see the bloodlust in your eyes, you know. It takes one to know one. So, here's some friendly. If you're seeking scum to slay, you'll find bandits in the ruins of a merchant settlement nearby. It's worth visiting if you haven't already.
The horns of the south, the crown jewel of these lands. We had barely laid the foundations of Tintagel when Seawall and his men had already built a lighthouse, eager to guide our ships to them. He always had a competitive spirit. Of course, it helped that he took every sailor from the homelands with him, along with a handful of knights, so they could learn from one another. And thus, the Keepers of the South were formed. I decreed that every sworn keeper would stand as an equal to a Knight of the Round Table. But I am glad to see the Keepers grown. In my time,
Friend, what does the blacksmith say when someone compliments the armor he... Thank you. It's my strong... Listen, my hands, they aren't made for delicate work. Elaine asked me very nicely, so I really... It's a task that requires precision. If I started tinkering with the necklace... Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I won't try again. For a delicate thing like this, you don't want someone who hammers iron all day. You need some... But where you could find someone like that around here? There are a couple of new faces in the village, so I guess you could ask around. But I doubt it. Safe travels, my friend. But if she ever needs to fix an axe or some plate armor, then... You know what? Never mind. Don't tell her that.
If you're here to see the healer, don't bother. He's a quack and a butcher who likes to watch people. I came to him with a toothache, asked him to make me something for the... He said my tooth is rotten, and then sent me to Osprey. Sounds like horse crap. My grandma was smarter than you.
She knew how to make a proper potion for toothache. If I were any good at mixing...
I even gave him my grandma's recipe, but he said... Don't know. Probably just didn't like that an old woman from a backwater village... You will? Oh, you...
Sir, I haven't seen you before. I wasn't expecting any guests, and you don't look like a new recruit. Most unfortunate, but that explains why you just strutted into the horn.
The name's Fergus, and I assume you already know I'm the quartermaster here.
And please, try to be convincing, or the walls of this fortress will be... Yes, I know. And that's why you're still standing in front of me. However, these pens were only given to certain people. They mean that in times of trouble, these people will always find a safe haven here in the hall.
And that makes me wonder, what happened to... If what you're saying is true, he must have had a deal with somebody well above my pay grade, and that leaves...
However, if you're lying, then you might as well have just confessed to the murder of a Knight of the Round Table. But nobody's that much of a fool. Fortunately for you, I've seen my fair share of morons in life. Fortunately for me, this pen only means that I'm to make sure you're safe in the Horns. Now,
Anyway, welcome to the Horns of the South. I just heard that some old man named Morris showed up at the keep, dragging the head of Bald Kate, just so he could... Can you imagine? I still can't tell whether it's bravery, or he's just out of his mind. It's you. Mahone is getting better. I don't know what you've done, but your results, at least for us. Unfortunately, Cole isn't improving. No. I only care that the situation is resolved. Captain Hagen. Well, he was a man driven by pride and a certain disregard for caution. He sent men to... Somehow, he got it into his head that there was something valuable down in those tunnels. But the truth is, we know what was there. In the Age of Legends, it was just a hospital. There was some kind... nothing left to find. Or so the Yes, it weighs on me more than I'd care to admit. But no captains ever bothered. It seems they thought it was a fool's errand. Maybe not worth the risk. If you're mad enough to try, then by all means, go ahead. Just don't expect any keeper to follow you. But maybe it's time to make it right. So... Ninian. I knew the Red Death would take him. Damn shame. You did right bringing this back. The Horns look after their own, but now that I think of it... Tortured? In the asylum? Brother Rialgan said Ninian was too weak to survive the journey. They came for him, and we even held a symbolic... What were you doing in the island? You look fine, but if you were there, near him... I'm sorry this happened to you. Still, you have to understand, now that you've told me this, I'll be keeping a close eye on... No risks can be taken when it comes...
That's one of our tags. Every soldier gets one when they pledge their loyalty. I just hope the body you took it from was already cold. Because killing a keeper...
You know, here's what I'm thinking. If you stumble over any of our fallen keepers out there... Sure, they all swore to stay here until the bitter end. But they have families who deserve to know...
It's part of my duty. But since I can't send any more beyond these walls, maybe you could... We've been having trouble with the dead lately. The kind that don't want to There are more and more of them roaming the area. It might just be the weirdness, as it has been steadily...
Anyway, I suggest you go see Marg first. He knows best with...
There is a local legend about a dark druid named... Slaughter, that was it. He was a necromancer rumored to be able to raise the dead, and it's quite an old legend, though, so unless he managed to raise himself from the dead... It's old. From what I've heard, the keepers and the people from the village below used to bury their dead there. But after the... Yeah, damn druids. They flooded a village of innocent people, just to show everyone they're still in power. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad we got rid of them. The things...
It's not far, and it's hard to miss. But honestly, I'd suggest you don't really know what you're walking into, so if I were you, I'd try to learn as much as possible beforehand. He's our huntsman. He keeps us stocked with meat, so the lads don't have to live on fish alone. They get pretty... Right now, Marg is the only other person who's allowed... I'm not about to risk the life of our last link to the outside world, especially when you're so eager to lend a hand.
The captain forbade anyone from leaving the keep, so I couldn't. And truth be told, I didn't particularly want to. We don't get many recruits, and you're... well... Your words, not mine. Good. Try not to get yourself...
If you need rest, you can sleep in the barracks. There's no royal...
You trying to start something? Trying to start something?
Oh, sorry. Do I know you? I'm terrible with faces. I'm Jan Heber, a physician raised in Camelot. A curse? Wait, no, I don't need to think. My useless Camelot education only taught me what could be proven. So, we never covered the existence of curses in class. Let me think. Among people of science, there is an opinion that the mind can get sick. I fully agree. If a person believes there's a curse, it will come true, whether real or not. Sometimes the right mixture of herbs, certain habits, and some carefully chosen words. This is a field more suited for druidic magic, however, since Camelot is stuck on the theory and doesn't seem to make any I'm sorry I couldn't give you a tangible solution, but I hope I've pointed you. What do you think? Do I look like a mystic to you? A shaman? I don't think so. Otherwise, I'd have a lot more to worry about. If you're looking for answers about things like this, you should consult the literature on the subject. Is some local witchcraft I've been trying to make sense of. I guess I'll find out when I experience is the best teacher. Don't worry. Graham the Mad, a great Camelotian physician, used to say that a real doctor would never give his patients something. A wise approach, which I follow myself. Oh, that was unexpected. Here, take it. Well, what irony. The pursuit of knowledge is always dangerous. That's why it's reserved. It takes true guts to face the unknown, to realize just how I was classically trained in the proper art of medicine by the scholars of Camelot. Most of this stuff shouldn't even be effective, yet it seems to work wonders on these simple-minded, tough... Shipments from Camelot are late, so I'm running low on supplies. If I'm not able to treat them, and Fergus doesn't like when people complain, especially he truly cares about them, I've got to admit. Lanzo knows very well what he must do. I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do for him. Yes, his grandma's miracle medicine. I had to confiscate the recipe as well, lest he tries making it himself. As if... No, I thought I made myself clear. If you want an excuse to drink yourself to oblivion on moonshine, just drink the moonshine. No need to add other potentially dangerous ingredients. Well, to be fair, the base recipe is pretty harmless. But what if someone decides that if they don't have carnation, it's perfectly fine to substitute or sage with wolfsbane because, you know, leaves... What? How do you... You know what? Fine. Do whatever you want. But if it causes you to shit yourself... Why would you, though? Well, if you're not in the mood for sharing, you might have more success getting people to trust you with their personal matters if you were a little bit more... Aha, got it. So you're up for work not out of the goodness of your heart, but for your own selfish plans.
Да нет, микрофон есть, просто дети малые спят.
Understood. It's a good reason. Well, I'd say it's better than most, but all right. Back at the Academy, I found an ancient scroll written by the Druids. forbidden knowledge, especially now, after the mob forced. I finally deciphered it a little while ago. It describes a ritual that needs to be performed at night within a stone circle. And guess what? I guess you already know what I need you to do, hmm? That is an excellent question, but I don't know. From what I've been able to decipher, it's a summoning spell to bring something or some... That being will share its great knowledge with the one brave enough to summon it. I need you to remember what it's... In Camelot, I've spent my entire life... I've been reading about their rites and the descriptions. They knew much more than we do, but it's like I need to find the right spell, the right...
Oh, a new face. It depends on... No, I'm kidding. I don't mean... I'm Marg, a hunter in the service of the Horns of the South. I don't know what it is about this place, though I'll admit, it's getting worse lately. They keep emerging from the local cemetery in numbers greater, so I'm guessing we might have a necromancer on our hands. And here I thought after the charred conclave... Good. And try not to die. That undead swarm does... Everything. No. Because you need to understand... If someone... Well, I don't know if you're aware, but because the captain answers to Camelot and its and the current Galahad is a real piece of shit. He burns people under any... I'm self-sufficient enough not to have to ask for it. However, I suppose I could help you.
Interested in local history, are you? Good, good. I can let you in. There is a small fee of 5 gold. It's constant work, as you can clearly see, and my petitions for additional funds seem to have fallen. Bless you, kind stranger. Here, just take the key. Oh, and I hope I don't need to remind you not to rob any graves. It's terribly rude, and
Да, микрофон есть, просто дети спят, поэтому я без микрофона.
Careful there. Try not to step on the array. It's advanced magic. Very fragile. Stop. Well, what I am doing here is very important. Besides, I'm hardly hurting anyone. That is a gross oversimplification. I am conducting valuable research, and yes, I do get rid of vermin and give their sorry existence some act posthumously. But, well, as they say, better late than never, right? Don't tell me you care about the lot. I'm not desecrating anything. It's just flesh. There's nothing sacred about it in the first. It starts decaying the moment you die. I'm merely prolonging its usefulness. And I've made some... I know people fear this kind of magic, but it creates so many new possibilities. It could give those who died prematurely more time with their loved ones. We could learn to live without the fear of dying. Don't enjoy it either. It's messy, and it takes up far too much time that could be better devoted to. Think about it this way. People who wrought so much misery on others could end up bettering the lives of everyone. Oh, please. Is that the only thing people can think of when it comes to necromancy? My ambition isn't to command the dead, but death itself. I aim to make Avalon a place where people won't have to fear it anymore. The problem is, I keep missing something. Raising the dead is easy, but I don't want mindless minions. I want truly living undead. Yet no matter what I do... Nonsense. The process, as you aptly called it, holds no secrets from me. I have studied its every stage, every aspect, all while keeping it almost insulting how straightforward it is, how little variety there is at its very core. And yet, capturing the connection between the flesh and the spirit continues to elude me. No matter how I approach it, or I've even tried to force it, but to no avail. Warduk. You mean the servant? I'm not sure where you got that idea, but he is indeed merely a minion. Quite a sophisticated one, I'll admit, but he's never said more than 2 words to me. Fine. If you wish to waste your time with him, go ahead. Who knows? Maybe his first master simply forbade him from speaking his mind. Still, don't hold your breath for any groundbreaking insights. Any revelations? Any revelations?
Oh, you're... Does he now? That's quite admirable. And I'd love to help. But alas, I'm not certain. Well, whether you die alone or it can't be shared or taken from someone. In the end, no matter how it happens, our death is... It's a potent experience. One for which there are no words, because there... I'm afraid not. But honestly, I wouldn't mind if it convinced the master. He would be better off dedicating his time to... really...
Well, what earth are you threatening? That's, no, it can't be that simple. It sounds so sentimental. But how do I make sure I don't share the fate of the others? And how do I remain? Ah, that's it. Perhaps that's the very core of the problem. What's needed is a subject who is perfectly aware of what's happening, one who understands, and that subject could only be me. Plus, there might be a few advantages to having. Let's see.
is a fine... I am the keeper of this cemetery. Master is... well... he's not really the master. Oh, it's very kind of you, but there's no need to worry. I cannot promise he will be. His mind has always been so... Master's heart was in the right place. The dead, you see, they have simple needs. But who am I to dwell on such matters? Oh, please, visit any time. I'm sure it'll make him happy. And I suppose it might be a good time to tidy up around here. So, don't...
come to visit me here? Surely you're not here to steal my treasures, are you? Oh, they call me all sorts of things. Evil spirit, lurking fiend, imp fae, nasty little thieving pest. But really, my name is Mog. We're definitely not fae, that's something else entirely. I'm what people wanted to believe in. The one who snatched their last coin for a beer, swearing they had it just a moment ago. The reason they can't find their left sock in the morning. The cause of a missing wedding ring, oh, so on. It happens. I suspect it's because I really like to snatch people's little trinkets. But between you and me, if they paid more attention, it wouldn't be so easy to steal their things. You offend me and my... sure, it's junk to you now, but when you have to head out into the cold and can't find one glove, well, suddenly it becomes very... And that glove? I've had it... And I'm just helping people appreciate the little things, because those are the only things that truly matter in life, right? At least that's what some bores say. Nah, it's just hilarious, watching you all lose your minds over a missing... And I've been doing this for centuries, it's second nature. Oh, you shouldn't ask a lady such things, but you can ask me. I don't remember exactly. 9, 10 centuries at least, maybe more, 15, 23, I don't know. What is it with you people and gold? I've been around for ages, I still don't get it. I don't give a damn about gold and jewels. When you talk about them, you suddenly get all serious and pompous. I'm just here for fun. Of course. I mean, the funniest part is, you live in a place where you shouldn't even be, staring death in the face every day. And yet, you get the angriest over the smallest things. The Red Plague? Oh, you'll manage somehow, but where the hell is my favorite pipe? Strange. I thought people liked being buried with their little trinkets and shiny bits. And since I'll be dying soon, a crypt see... That's right. I used to play tricks on people back in the homelands. Back then, they respected me. But ever since we came to Avalon, they're forgetting. Sometimes someone still tosses salt over their left shoulder for me, or maybe leaves a little bowl of milk with honey outside, but those... And when they all forget me, that... Yes. Is that so strange? You can convince yourselves that you have bad luck, illness, love. Why not an old crone who steals your pants? No, it's just the natural order thing. But since I'm kicking the bucket soon, I could pass on some of my power to you. What you say? Because first you'll have to do something for me, and it'll be hilariously... Well, before I give you some of my power, I just want something from you. Something stolen. Nothing big or expensive, just a little trinket. Just sneak into someone's house and swipe the shoes, or grab a wooden mug from the tavern. Will you do that for me? Great! Now you can either keep your word and commit the terrible sin of theft, or break. And if you ever feel like a bit of thievery, I'll be waiting right here. Well, have you got a little...
wanderer in the sunk. Back in the day, you just needed to look at the stars and you'd know where you were going. I guess I'm just an old man listening to the sound of this. Every wave carries a story, you know. Some are whispers, others are roars. Long ago, I decided to wait for what's ahead of me. But I can feel that it's closer than ever. Everything that's around us, it's... Monsters? I think you misunderstand. I don't see any monster. It's sad. But as you can see, not much depends on us. The world, they were given some time which they've tried to use as much as they could. I'm glad they allow me to stay here despite what happened. It's the cycle of life. There's nothing to be afraid of. If you're afraid, sometimes you just need to sit and look. The sunken village was not always sunken, but one day someone, undoubtedly important, made a decision. So the wave came and made the village into the sunken village, and its inhabitants. I know that some druids did it. Specific individuals, although their names... You'd have to ask those responsible for the flood. Who knows what's going through people's heads? That's a good question. Maybe they burnt. Nevertheless, the punishment was delivered and justice prevailed. At least that's what those who set fire to the stakes preach. All in the name... Among others, this wouldn't have happened if not for Camelot's desperation. I don't know if the word was so unambiguous or if its interpretation failed. What happened on the fields of the charred conclave wasn't just about the flood, my friend. It was about things and forces we don't... Long ago enough for people to have no chance, and yet recently enough that this place still reminds... Now the village is what it is. And the past is washed away, and I'll stay and look. I have everything I need. Before you go, I understand. I see you, I hear you, and I have a feeling that you will find what you can come keep me company whenever you want.
I cannot say for certain. My memory remains too clouded. It seems familiar. I do not feel my soul bound to it, but I know something lingers beyond this gate. We'll find the truth.
you're back. How's the rem? Thank you. Here, take this as my thanks for your help.
Something. Yes? Great. A necromancer. Just what we needed. Good thing you got rid of him then. We already have the Dal Riada almost on our doorstep. You did well. Maybe it's not so bad. You know where to That's between her and the cap. It used to... until... What else was... We wiped it. Depends on your idea. I don't know. Just as I thought. If you have friends among the knights, you'll want to talk to the captain. Because I said so. What? Did you really expect that you could just... There wouldn't be much point in having walls and guards here if anyone could just do that, would there? You've done your part in proving your worth. You won't find the captain at the Horns of the South. He ordered us to lock down the keep, and then... he did... I have my suspicions about where he might be, but I can't say for sure. I don't like your tone, my friend. But all right. I suspect he's up, but I will warn you. If he's not dead already, I'm pretty sure you'll be if you decide to. That's where the Dal Riada tribes are holed up, and they're not known for their kindness. And if you do find the captain, tell him to return to the Horns of the South. Galahad the Pure is already on his way, and he won't be pleased to find a bunch of keepers hiding. We'll all face consequences if that happens.
just wait until they let me out. Come a little close. Nobody asked. Maybe I was drunk. But I'm not guarding the gate right this second, am I? Hmm? Come on, don't be like that. I knew it, my friend. Oh, delicious.
Always good to have a little rest.
Are you here to keep me company or put me out of my misery? Just kidding. Love the view. Always windy. You don't say. I didn't choose to be here. Our beloved quartermaster sent me to freeze my arse off. I just got drunk in the tavern and lost half my pay. But I mean, why would he even care? It was my... Oh, I need a warm coat. And I mean the absolute warmest coat you can get. Osprey might have something in stock or know how to make one. I'd ask myself, but he's not exactly speaking with me these days. Stupid. That's what I was. I mean, I gave him a blade to sharpen, and when I got it back, it was still dull. And so on and so forth, until it turned out that my mate had played a trick on me. Swapped my sword. I tried to make amends with Osprey, but the old man's pride is as stiff. Now, here I am, frozen to the bone and in need of a hand. Thanks, friend. listen, I'm no good with... She's learning how to read and write. Can you believe it? She... Oh, flat. No, you mustn't. What do I do now? I don't know. I should go back to him, right? I guess, yes.
What do you think of scale armor? Scale armor. What do you think of it? The ones all... Sure, maybe it's easy to make and doesn't restrict movement, but it doesn't provide the best protection. Someone just... Lamellar armor is much better. That will prevent you from being run through with a pole. I read a lot about it. In Volume 4 of the Armourer's Almanac, Arden's Shadowblade describes the differences between... For example, chainmail allows for a good range of movement, but it's heavy. It also provides poor protection against blunt weapons. No, but I have knowledge from books and a lot of thoughts on the subject, so I... Shadowblade is a moniker. Arden is passionate about weapons and armour. He has a true expert. Everything he writes is interesting. I would love to meet him one day. I told them, but they both said I know jack shit. Then the quartermaster added that if I don't like our equipment, he could send me out scouting and just... Perhaps you're right. Oh, of course. I mean, I've never made one. I'm not an armourer. Here's the page from the Armourer's Almanac.
Boy, friend, the question. Because... Oh, of course. I forgot to introduce myself. Huh. It's for Dan, isn't it? Disagreement? But since Dan is on the wall and I'm here, I couldn't tell... And I forgave him a long time ago. And now the... Well, I may not be angry with him anymore, but that doesn't mean I'll work my... Here's an explanation of how to make it. Ha! Friend, I wish. But the only task I could use help with might be a bit... Unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to prove it. And I'll have work for you and me. There's just not enough of them to go around. Listen, I said I don't have any jobs, as in things I pay you for doing. That doesn't mean I can't teach you a thing or two. Since you're free to wander about while I'm stuck in the keep, maybe you've probably bashed in the skull of a beast or two, right? The alchemist. They're likely snatch, but perhaps you'd rather craft your... We should start with something simple. I'll give you some notes on how to make armor. You gather the materials and get to work. And when you're done, you can bring it over...
See those rocks near the shore? When it gets dark, sometimes I see a light there. A bandit camp this close to the horns. Impossible. The Daliata? Is probably nothing, but maybe you could find some... Farewell.
what I was looking for. A human doing my work. All right, time for my part of the deal, I guess. Close your eyes, put on a serious face, like something, and done. Now you've got a bit of my power. Go into the world, use it. Nah, don't worry. You'll feel it when you sneak up to pinch something from someone.
Yes? Who are you? Did Albert Albertus send you? I've told you 1,000 times I'm not leaving. This place is perfect for me. At last, I have the space to explore the limits of culinary delights. You'll never understand, you bunch of cabbage heads. Your taste buds have long been dulled by fried cheese, fried fish, and oil. Oil everywhere, the goddamn oil. Oh, so you're not one of Albert's yes men. I hope you'll forgive this egregious lapse in my manners. I never thought that after the entrance was buried, anyone unfamiliar with my... But first things first. My name is Rumpold Fenini. I used to be the most renowned, doomed to forever search, misunderstood by plebeian... I've discovered, no, I've reached the limits of taste. And when I gazed into that abyss, I realized that all my... You see, the logical conclusion of creating the most delicious food is something that flips the food. So delicious, so extraordinary. Because, you see, it's only through pain that... Now, listen carefully. Sour herring and cheese. Sour herring... Perhaps, but it's not supposed to sound, it's supposed to be seen. For what is virtue if you don't first... This experience is meant to embody the essence of flavor transgression. Culinary norms and rules, oh, they're nothing but simple amusements for the masses. Why don't you try it yourself? Though I must warn you, there's no turning back from this path. Once you've tasted the effects of... Here's the recipe for my sour herring with cheese. The ingredients are for you to... Just remember, it requires a... If I recall correctly... here, I've marked it on your map. My acolyte of culinary... Does he now? Why? I don't offer paid lessons. I can't think of any reason Captain Hubert would send his men here. Sorry? Oh, interesting. I do hope he was very kind to me when I stayed at the Keeper's Fortress. Oh, dear, I could ask what year it is, but honestly, I finally found my place and purpose. If you want to use my kitchen, go ahead, help yourself, but don't you dare prepare anything mundane, like pancakes or scrambled eggs.
very threat. This is my lucky day.
Stop! Where are you rushing off to, you maniac? Well, you need to have business with Arnulf. Huh, that's a good one. But still, I can't just let everybody in. That we do. The plants are really... But the bloom, you see, is too valuable. It needs too many people buzzing around, and the bio something go... Yeah? Oh, so that's how it is. You were trying to trick me, weren't you? Not another... This isn't right!
look who it is. Oh, thank you for your support, but... Pix and Dalrea, and they say I'm the...
Stop, you crook! Well, well, well. The scoundrel has been caught. And now you'll have to pay a fine. All right. Let's hope we don't have a repeat of this conversation.
Rumpled? What are you talking? Wait, Rumpled? The one who disappeared centuries? All that effort. Oh my god. I'm crying. Honestly, I thought it was about the lost treasures of the Dalriada, maybe an army of undead berserkers, some... You have no idea how scared I was of this job. Alright, I'm feeling better now. Do you need anything else? If only. I can't get in touch precisely here, right in this damned spot. And I'm afraid. Don't get me wrong, I used to love it when, but the dangers of the road, life goes by so fast. Only a keep. It's
Please, state your... Again? Go the... I can't believe you actually did it. A blade buried in that giant body. And please accept Camelot's official gratitude. Go the hunter...
Sometimes it's nice to just sit and think. Nice to... People used to come and go. Now that I think... Oh, so you... Of course, those pins are peak craftsmanship, and very rare at that. But when I look at... Well, it's pretty obvious you wouldn't be able to beat a knight. And even if you found one... Either way... Yeah, then, Virga. It's like we've done something first. Desperate people, then and so on. That's then one good thing.